Greetings, math thinkers. Today we're working on math lesson 9.4 in your 6th grade everyday math. Today's goal is to learn how to simplify expressions by removing parentheses. When you do this, you'll have to distribute the variables throughout the expression. And then remember that they're called expressions, not equations, because they don't have an equal sign. Sometimes today you will come across problems that do have equal signs. In that case, they're called equations. So equations and expressions. Your first step is going to be to remove the parentheses from the problems that you're working on. Here's an example. In this first example, you have 7 multiplied by what's in parentheses and then adding 6. So what you want to do is you want to remove the parentheses to begin with. So you need to distribute 7 through the problem before you remove it. Here's how you do that. 7 times n goes here. Don't forget to multiply 7 times the second thing in parentheses. So you have to distribute through the whole set of parentheses. You have 7n plus 21, and then you bring the 6 down. So here's your new equation. And then you'll simplify that by adding the digits together. The 21 and the 6 get added together. You end up with 7n plus 27 when you've simplified it. Your answers today will keep a variable in them, so you may have a number of variables plus some numerals. Most of the time you won't end up with an actual answer to an equation unless it asks you to substitute a number for the variable. Here's the second example of the same thing. In this case, you have another step in the problem. The first thing you have to do is remove the parentheses. That's your simplification of the expression. So you take 6 and you distribute it through the parentheses, so you have 6 in S and 6 in 3. This is the next step of that. 6s, this part, and 6 times 3 is 18. This is removing the parentheses. Then we bring down the rest of the equation, just as it was written before. And now we start combining terms that are similar. So we're taking the last 2 days' lessons and combining them together. We get 4s plus 18 equals 30 plus s. Most of you could go further than this to solve the problem, but it's not asking you to do that today. Okay, one more thing. The last part is when you have an equation, sometimes in the problem it'll tell you to substitute something for the variable. In this case, it asks you to substitute the number 2 everywhere you see an s. So to do that, I've just taken the s and I put a 2 in parentheses in the 2 locations where there was an s. And now you distribute the 4 in this case through the problem. So 4 times 2 equals 8. Bring down the 24. Bring down here's a 30 and a 2, add it together, you get 32, and it should be 32 equals 32. Sometimes they're asked you can actually solve the equation, sometimes it's just an expression. Today we're working on Math Journal pages 334 and 335, any late pages you have, and math boxes up to math boxes 9-4. Good job.